Hi, boys and girls. This is Math Chapter 12, Lesson 7. Today we are going to talk about fractions. We are going to be talking about how we would break a shape into equal parts. So, I want each of you to imagine your favorite dessert. Okay? Next, I want you to imagine mom or dad saying, okay, now share that dessert equally with your brother or sister. Of course, you want to make sure that it's equal and one sibling doesn't get more dessert than the other. So when we break things into equal pieces, we are making fractions. So if you imagined your favorite dessert as a cookie, so a cookie, is most likely a circle. I would want to break the circle exactly into two pieces so that I got half. There's our word, half, and Genevieve got half of the cookie. So when we break shapes into parts, we are making fractions. So if I have two equal parts, I have two halves. If I break a cookie into three equal parts because there's three siblings, then I am breaking that into thirds. 1, 2, 3, so the word is thirds. And if I have a lot of people in my family and I have to break something into 4 equal pieces, we call that fourths. So we have halves, thirds, and fourths. And that is how we break objects into equal pieces, and they are called fractions. So what you're eating of your dessert is a fraction of the dessert. You're not getting to eat the whole thing, but you have a piece of the whole thing. And luckily you broke it into equal pieces so you all feel like you got a lot of dessert. So today when I show you, I'm going to bring up our screen to share with the fractions. So here we are. I am going to break some of these squares into equal parts. So I want to show you how I can break these 3 squares into equal parts, and I'm going to use a line to break them. So if I have this square here and I want to show 2 equal parts, I would want to take my line and put it right in the middle of the square. And now I have broken the square into 2 equal parts or halves. Next, I want to break this middle square into 3 equal pieces. So I want to make sure that my pieces are about the exact same size. So now I have 1, 2, 3 equal pieces. I'm pointing with the arrow. So if you're looking over at the square, 1, 2, 3. Now my square here is broken into thirds. 3 equal pieces are thirds. And this shape here, I would like to break into 4 equal pieces. And the easiest way to do that is to break it in half. Okay, so I put my one line to break it in half, and then I break it in half again, and now I have 4 equal pieces. So now my square is broken into 4 smaller squares. Okay, and the reason that I used the comparison to dessert is because you always want that part to be equal. You want your dessert or whatever you're sharing to be fair and equal. So when you are drawing lines in your shapes, you want each of the shape to have an equal amount. All right, so in our book today on page 778, you can go ahead and turn to that. You will see on 778, it says you can partition or separate shapes into equal parts. So the first one is the equal parts or 2 halves, 2 equal parts or 2 halves. Each has half or part of the whole. So like the first one almost looks like our cookie. 1 part, 2 parts. Together, they make up the whole cookie. This is a square. 1 part, 2 parts. Together, they make up the whole square. 3 equal pieces or 3/3. So I could break it like almost like a peace sign, 1, 2, 3, or break a square, 1, 2, 3. That would be 3 equal pieces. Here I have 4 equal pieces. I have a line going across and a line coming down. Then I could have 4 equal square pieces, a line going across and a line going down. So on your page here, it is asking you to describe the parts, right? Do I have 2 halves? Do I have 3/3? Or do I have 4/4? So here's what you're going to need to do is make sure that you are counting how many pieces. If there are 2 equal pieces, it's halves. If there are 3 equal pieces, it's thirds. If there are 4 equal pieces, it's fourths. So depending on how many equal pieces you have in your shape is going to be which of the fractions that you are describing. So that is what you'll write in here. Okay, follow these directions. Then next it says draw lines to partition or separate each shape. So this wants it into 2 equal parts here. Can you break this into 4 equal parts? And on the back, you are going to continue following the directions for each set of questions. And there you have fractions.